Trump just threatened Canada with a 100% tariff. Not China, Canada. And this is not about electric vehicles. It is not about foreign exports. It is not even really about China. This is about who controls access to the American market and whether Canada still gets to make independent trade decisions without Washington flipping the table. And here is the part nobody is saying out loud. Yet, Canada actually has leverage here. Big leverage. Let's get the facts straight first. Donald Trump threatened to impose 100% tariffs on Canadian goods. His claim that Canada is turning into a drop-off port for Chinese goods heading into the United States. That was posted publicly. No ambiguity, no private warning. Here is the trigger. Canada negotiated a tariff adjustment deal with China this month, lowering tariffs on Chinese electric vehicles in exchange for reduced Chinese tariffs on Canadian farm products. This was announced during Mark Carney's visit to Beijing. Important detail. Trump initially praised the deal, called it a good thing. Then, flip. Certain 100% tariff threat. That tells you this is not about the deal itself. It is about who Canada talks to without asking permission. Here is what Washington actually fears. Not Chinese EVs entering Canada, not Canadian wheat. The fear is trade routing. The United States does not want Canada acting as an independent middle power, balancing China, the United States, Europe, and Asia on its own terms. Because if Canada can do that, then America loses gatekeeper status over North American trade. That's the line Trump is drawing. Now, let's talk leverage. Real numbers, not vibes. Every single day, $3.6 billion in goods and services crosses Canada-US border. Canada is the top export destination for 36 US states. Canada supplies 60% of US crude oil imports, 85% of US electricity imports, the largest foreign supply of steel and aluminum, uranium for US nuclear reactors, 34 critical minerals the Pentagon actively wants for national security. That's a lot. You do not slap 100% tariffs on that without blowing a hole in your own economy. Let me be blunt here. If Trump actually imposed 100% tariffs across the board, that's not punishing Canada. That's punishing Ohio, Michigan, Pennsylvania, New York, and Texas all at once. This is not leverage-free chest dumping. This is mutually assured economic pain. And Trump knows it. Here is where Canada quietly benefits. The Canada-US-Mexico agreement has shielded Canada from the worst of Trump's tariff war so far. Yes, it's up for review this year. Yes, Trump is signaling pressure, but tearing through USMCA protections is not clean or fast. And it opens the United States to legal retaliation and sector-by-sector blowback. This is why previous tariff threats, including a promised extra 10% hike, were not followed through. Now, zoom out. This is not happening in isolation. Trump has pushed to acquire Greenland, mocked Canada's sovereignty, posted altered maps showing Canada absorbed into the United States, referred to Canadian Prime Minister as governor. This is pressure politics, not trade housekeeping. And Carney's response at Davos mattered. He said, if you are not at the table, you are on the menu. This was not rhetorical. That was positioning Canada as a coordinating middle power, not a client state. Let's be precise. Canada does not align with China on human rights. Carney has said that explicitly. Canada previously mirrored the United States by imposing 100% tariffs on Chinese EVs, 25% tariffs on Chinese steel and aluminum, China retaliated with 100% tariffs on Canadian canola oil and meal, 25% on pork and seafood. This new deal reduces damage to Canadian farmers, not a pivot into Beijing's orbit. So let's talk about what we know and what we don't. What we know first. Trump publicly threatened 100% tariffs. The trigger was Canada's China tariff adjustment deal. Canada is economically critical to U.S. energy, industry, and supply chains. USMCA has limited Trump's tariff reach so far. And here is what we don't know: whether Trump will formally initiate tariffs or use this as leverage. How USMCA review negotiations will factor this threat. Whether Washington escalates sector by sector instead of blanket tariffs. No guessing, no hype, just facts. So, here is the part Canadians need to internalize. Canada is not cornered. Canada sits at the intersection of United States energy security, critical minerals supply, Arctic access, stable food exports, NATO logistics. Trump can threaten tariffs, but Canada can delay, redirect, retaliate legally, coordinate with Europe and Asia, and quietly wait out volatility. That's leverage. This is not about China eating Canada alive. That line is political theater. This is about whether Canada gets to act like a sovereign middle power, or whether Washington expects obedience by default. And here is the thing Washington sometimes forgets: Canada is not loud, but Canada matters. If you want this channel to stay independent and receipts backed, hit like, subscribe, join the membership, or buy me a coffee. Totally optional, because this is not the last pressure play coming, and the next one might hit closer to home. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.